Hello, Freedom Church families and family at large. This is your favorite pastor, Pastor Olufemi Olusholami. I just want to bring a short word of encouragement to you in line with this biblical teaching I've been doing that I started doing a few days ago, asking the question, has God failed you? It's a really loaded question, but it's a question we need to ask nevertheless. Because sometimes when life doesn't work the way we want it to work, we think God has failed us. But God will not fail anybody. If you're a true believer, God said, I know the thought I have towards you, Jeremiah 29:11, thought of good, not of evil, to prosper you and to bring you to an expected end. That's the word of the Lord. He said, whom that he foreknew, he predestinate. Whom he predestinate, he call. Him that he call is justified. Whom that he justify, glorify. The end product of God's love for you is glorification. So anything in your life that tells you that God doesn't love you, God hates you, God is judging you, God is punishing you, it's not of God. You will not punish your own son by saying, I'm going to teach him a lesson by holding his hand on a hot stove plate. You won't do that to your son. So why would God give you cancer? Why would God give you, let you be in a car accident to teach you a lesson? That's not how the God teaches us a lesson. But at that time, life teaches us all this evil lesson. The will of God is to deliver you, to save you, to set you free, and to bless you. So what I'm trying to say simply is this. All of us has gone through experiences where we think God failed us. Why our faith in God is so high. We have done everything we need to do. Our prayer life is okay. Our word life is okay. Our service to God is excellent. We give. We've done everything. We've crossed our eyes and dotted our T theologically and spiritually. And we are so sure God is going to come through for us. And yet the outcome was disastrous. And we couldn't believe that God will watch us fall flat on our face like that. And people don't even know God fear better than we do. Have you been there? I've been there. I'm right there right now. So I want to encourage you that when you're in the midst of the storm, that's not when to yell at God or curse God. Why would you curse the God that the only source of help you have? If you can help yourself, go ahead and help yourself and extricate yourself from the problem. Solve the problem if you can. But if you know without God's help you can't solve this problem, this is not the time to get bitter at God. This is not the time to open your mouth and blaspheme the name of God. What do I mean? Let's take our biblical example from Exodus chapter 14. In Exodus chapter 14, starting from verse 1, God was the one who changed the direction in which the people of God are moving. God has gloriously delivered them from the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh. And God now said to Moses, turn around, go and camp by the Red Sea. That's in Genesis chapter 1 and Exodus chapter 14, 1 and 2. By verse 3, God said, Pharaoh will come to the wrong conclusion that the people are trapped in the wilderness and will therefore follow after them. And I will get glory out of Pharaoh for his stubbornness. What is God saying? God will allow situation in life to expose your fear. I'm telling you, the only thing God wants you to fear is Him. Any other fear that you have, apart from, let me show you how it's important that God wants us to fear Him. Look at what the Bible said in Genesis chapter 22. Look at what the Bible said in Genesis chapter 22 concerning Abraham. It said, and the angel of the Lord, this is verse 11, and the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, yeah. And he said, lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God. You will think the right word should be, he loved God. No. God said, I can now tell that you fear me because you are willing to sacrifice your son. Let me show you what the Bible said in Malachi chapter 1. We're going to read from verse 6. He said, a son honors his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? We are not supposed to fear anything but God. We are not supposed to fear sickness, we are not supposed to fear disease, we are not supposed to fear anything. So obviously the children of, I need to fold my hand, I'm sorry. The children of Israel were fearful of Pharaoh, and God wants to just delete that fear from their life, because God believed it should be the only one that should be feared. And God set up an experiment where they will confront their fear and conquer their fear by seeing God being the supremacy. That's what the Bible said in Matthew chapter 6 verse 33. It says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things. Don't fear poverty. Don't fear what you will eat, what you will drink, what you will wear. Nothing. Just let your fear. It said, the Bible said in the book of Matthew, Jesus said, fear only he that can kill the body and the soul. Nothing else. The Bible tells us in Hebrews chapter 4, I will believe around verse 2, Hebrews chapter 4, it said, fear lest you fail to enter into the promise that God has given unto us. So the only thing we're supposed to fear is God. And because the people were afraid of Pharaoh, God now set up an experiment. It is God who told Moses to turn around. Let me show it to you. The Bible said in Hebrews chapter 4, let me see, 2, it said, for we believe and enter as they shall enter the refuge. For it speak. Where is it? It's right here. I need to find the place where it said, but it's right there that they should fear to enter in the rest of God. Okay, sorry. It's right there. Hebrews chapter 1 verse, Hebrews chapter 4 verse 1 say, let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. Fear, lest you fail to enter into the rest of God. The only thing God wants you to fear is missing the promise that he has made for you, not any other thing. So the people are afraid of Pharaoh, and God set up an experiment, and the experiment is that go camp before the Red Sea. Pharaoh will think you are trapped, and Pharaoh will follow you. Let me state that everybody knows the way from Egypt to the Canaan land. There was no doubt about that. The people know the way from Egypt to Canaan land. The sons of Jacob, Abraham came from Canaan land to Egypt in Genesis chapter 13, went back to Canaan land in Genesis chapter 13. The sons of Jacob came twice to buy grain, went back. When Joseph revealed himself to his brother, he told them to go bring his father. They came to buy grain. When his father died, they took his father there. So the route to Canaan land was not hidden to anybody. And that's the route they were going to take until God changed their direction. Has God changed your direction and you thought it was for good, only for you to realize you don't understand what God is doing in your life by what your current state is? Have you ever felt that you can do better than God because he did not lead you in the path of righteousness for his name's sake? He seemed to have led you to the path of tribulation and trouble. And you can't say for his name's sake because you don't see how this will glorify God. That's what happened to the children of Israel. So it was God who said, Moses, go by the way of the Red Sea. They were by the way of the Red Sea when Pharaoh came behind them. When they saw Pharaoh, the first mistake they made is this. When you are confused and you don't know what God is up to, it's not the time to start talking. It's the time to be silent and just say, Lord, I don't understand what is going on. Instead of you to get angry at God, just ask God, Lord, what is going on? Because look, I said often, and my wife even I say that we're all going to die one day. There's nobody who escaped this world alive. So when God set up an experiment whereby your life is in trauma, do you know how traumatic it is for Abraham to take Isaac, a child he has waited for over 25 years to have, for God to say, go kill that boy and offer as a burnt offering. It is the faith of Abraham that allowed him to fear God enough to carry out that sacrifice before the angel stopped him. So there are things we do trembling. Jesus didn't want to go to the cross. The Bible said he prayed fervently for the thing to be reversed, and it wasn't. What are you going through now that is hard for you? Yet you are going through it. But it's not going through it, Lord. It's that you going through it trusting that God has something in this. You don't understand it, but God is up to something good in your life. God was up to something good in the life of the children of Israel, but they didn't realize it. What was he up to? He was up to delivering them from the bondage of Israel. Because see, God will deliver you from the bondage and then deliver your mindset from that bondage to hold you captive. Les Brown says something once, and I'll never forget. He said, if you treat a man to be a slave, like a slave, let me give you a Bible principle right here, before I tell you what Les Brown said. And that's what God was trying to deliver them out of by setting up that experiment. Look at what the Bible said in Exodus chapter 1 and verse 8. It said, now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier than we. Is that not what he said? Then he said, come now, let us deal wisely with them. This is the king saying the children of Israel are more mightier than we are. He's acknowledging that these people are wiser, stronger, and more blessed than we are. But let's deal with them. Let's start telling them they are inferior to us. Let's start dealing wisely with them. Let's belittle them. Let's deal with them in a way that they don't feel worthy, they don't feel special like the people of God anymore. So LeBron was like, if you treat a man like a slave, if you treat him long enough to believe he's a slave, he said you don't have to tell that man to enter through the back door. He will naturally go through the back door, and if there's no back door, his very nature will demand one. So God delivers them out of slavery, but then he has to deliver out of them the slavery mentality. And the only way God can deliver the slavery mentality is by killing, by getting victory over their slave master. So they will know the real master they need to fear is God. So God set up this experiment to take them to the Red Sea. And when they got to the Red Sea, it was not about them. It's about Pharaoh. And for the people of God to see that God is almighty and God is more powerful than any problem you can face. But if you are not careful, you come to the wrong interpretation, you say the wrong thing, you curse God while God is working for you. Because when Pharaoh came and they saw Pharaoh, they turned around and started accusing Moses. Is this not why we ask you to leave us in Egypt, to serve the Egyptian? Is it because there are no graves in East Egypt that you have brought us out to die in this wilderness? And Moses reassured them in Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. It says, verse 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptian whom you have seen today, you shall see them again no more forever. Moses was not sure. Moses had no idea how this will end. But one thing that you and I must learn of God is learn the ways of God and the integrity of God, and that God's original intention is his final decision. God will not say one thing and do another thing. Psalm 90 said the children of Israel know the act of God, but Moses knows his ways. So Moses knows that God cannot fail. God will not go through that 10 miracle in Egypt and allow Pharaoh to kill his people here. Moses has no idea what God was about to do, but he knew God would do something. What did God do? God now commands the angel of the Lord that was in front of the people to move behind them. They can see that. There are things God is doing on your behalf that you can't see. But simply because you can't see, it doesn't mean you shouldn't keep praising him. Why? Because a live dog is better than a dead lion. Joko Woko, I think that's the name of the guy, said every failure in life is psychological except death. The only failure that you might never be able to recover from is death. Every other thing, people have recovered from it. Every other, there's nothing The internet is available now to interrupt you. You could be what is interrupting your statement that something is impossible because there's a video out there that says you are lying. Somebody else has done it and somebody else is currently doing it. So God set it up that way that they might not see the angel that went behind them. But guess what? They saw the pillar of cloud, and the pillar of cloud went behind them and encircled them. Sometimes we see God moving, even though we are in a mess. Remember, the Bible said, is the sower sow the seed, and when it's on a good ground, some yield 30%, some yield 60%. If you are sick and you are 30% better, you don't feel nothing. You could feel slightly better at 30% healing. It is when you get to 60%, you start saying, I think, I don't know. It's like the pain has lessened. You are still in pain. It is when you start getting to 80, that's when you know for sure you are getting better. But when you are 30, you are getting better. You just can't tell. When you get to 60, you definitely can tell a little that you are getting better. Simply because God has not finished solving your problem doesn't mean God is not on your side. You have to trust God when you can't trust Him. You have to rely on the integrity of God. That's what Abraham did. For 25 years, God keeps saying, I will do it. I will bless you. I will give you a child. I will give you a child. The Bible tells us in Exodus chapter 4 that you will walk without staggering at the promises of God. Are you staggering now? Are you afraid? Are you befuddled? Are you rattled? Don't be. God is faithful. So the people don't know what God will do, neither did Moses know. Moses just know God will not fail now. He has invested too much in the children of Israel to let them down now. So what did God do? He said to Moses, move forward. When was the last time you received an illogical instruction from God in the midst of your trouble? And you are so angry because the instruction was counterintuitive. You don't understand why God will ask you to do. It's like you broke. The last thing you have, God said, give it to somebody. Do you know it takes faith for the Zarephath woman not to die? God said to Elisha, I've commanded a widow woman to feed you. When Elijah got to the gate and saw the woman, I guarantee you Elijah was like, really, God? But when you start working with God, you start learning that the ways of God are not your way. Even though the woman looked so skinny and looked like she's about to die, because that was her mission. Gather this wood, bake this bread, and go and die afterward. Elijah did not doubt that if this is the woman God said will make a way, then this is the woman that will make a way. Guess what Elijah said? Go get me a cup of water. It was a drought season. Water was not available. Water was a scarce commodity. Yet the woman was willing to obey. The problem why we don't see the hand of God the way we want to see it is even the instruction we can't obey. Because it's not convenient, we don't obey it. And then we wonder why God won't give the next instruction. If that woman hasn't turned to go and get Elijah a cup of water, I don't know if Elijah would have asked her to bake a bread for him. It was because she was going to go get that cup of water that Elijah then said, and bring me a piece of cake. And she said, God is my witness. I'm gathering stick to bake the last cake I have and to eat it for me and my son, and we die. And Elisha said, don't worry, bake it. Give me the portion first, and God will meet all your need. See, God will not promote you and I beyond our point of last obedience. But the problem is we keep disobeying that last instruction. But let's conclude this short teaching. God did something nobody expected and what nobody believed He would do. And I will come back to this teaching tomorrow in my next video. And what did God do? He told them to move forward. An illogical instruction. Yet they obeyed. And what did God do? God told Moses to stretch forth the rod, and the Red Sea parted. And not only the sea parted, the mud that was on the sea floor could sink anybody completely. But God blew wind throughout that night that the floor of the sea becomes solid like a rock, and people walk on it and cross over the Red Sea. But somebody might run across this video and say, my God, I can't believe you believe that junk. You know, it's so funny. We see miracle every day. And yet we belittle the stories of the Bible. Even good Christians choose and pick what they believe in the Bible. You ain't a Christian if you don't believe in miracle. The Bible said there's nothing impossible for God to do. Why will I doubt that God can dry the Red Sea? Why? So the thing is, either you doubt it or you don't doubt it. The long and short of the story is this. If God set you up for a deliverance, He will not do it the way you expect Him. But you must learn how to trust God when you can't trace Him. And another thing is, please, when you are confused about the ways of God, that's not the time to start talking. Let's be quiet. Because more often than not, God will still do what He said He will do, but we say things that will become things we regret. And it will show our lack of faith in God. And remember, the Bible said, without faith, it's impossible to please God. I want God to do great things in your life and in my life because of us, not in spite of us. So therefore, when God set you up and you are walking through, He said, when you get into the water, it will not, you will pass through water, you'll be fine. When you walk through rivers, you will not drown. But the one I like there in that Isaiah, I believe that's Isaiah 41 or 42. He said, when you pass through the rivers, when you walk through fire, please tell me, who walks through fire? How do you walk through fire? You run through fire. But he said, but that's what he said. He said, when you walk through fire, and you're like, no way, I'm running. And see, that's Isaiah 43. He said, when thee passes through the water, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. And when thou walkest through fire, thou shalt not be burned. We don't walk through fire. But right now, you might be walking through fire. And I'm trying to tell you, God will see you through. Don't lose hope. Don't be discouraged. Don't force and don't complain about God. Because God is going to deliver you. It shall be well with you in Jesus' name.